I think there are a lot of very good to elite football players in the world, but I definitely agree with Mo that Dominic is one of them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when I said that, I maybe had to add, and you need to be able to run a lot if you play in the midfield of Liverpool. But I think what I meant was, as a number 10, you also need to produce goals. Now, he hasn't always played in the 10 position, but he is producing more and more goals. I think Dominic is a great example of the model we are using here at this club, and we sign young players from another league. In this situation, that was Leipzig, where he was already known for being a player that was really physical. But I think it's fair for me to say that the player that we brought in was already good, but where he is now, he's much more, at least better. I think much better than where he was 2.5 years ago. And that is what you get if you sign young players and you give them a bit of time and you let them play a lot. And that's why I also think that that trajectory he's been through is the same trajectory we can expect from other young players we are having that we've signed from other leagues. You can already see their progress. But I've said many times that next season or at the end of the season or in 2 seasons, players like Hugo and Florian, because these are the 2 that come from the Bundesliga, will even be better next year than they are already now, because they're already very good players for us. No, it's very nice to have him on the score sheet again and him having an assist. But I think what I like the most at the moment, that he's scoring goals, is something, yeah, you can almost expect. But he also helps the team a lot defensively, and that is something very positive. What the team also needs, and I think more and more players are now capable of playing at this intensity level every 3 days, and that is where we struggled a lot in the beginning of the season, where it was sometimes hard for us to bring the intensity level once a week, let alone every 3 days. But now we're able to do so. We see more and more the quality we are having, and yeah, that's why I've said so many times already that the future looks really bright for this club with these players, and I think the recent 7, 8, 9, 10 games are showing that as well. Very well. Curtis is a very good player. I've said this many times also to him, and he agrees with me, by the way. But unfortunately for him, he's playing in a line where I have many good players and also available. So if he would be playing in another position, he would have played much more. But that's the only line, touch wood, where we haven't had our problems this season. And then you sometimes need him or other players in different positions. And so many times they've done well. Dominic has played so many different positions. Ryan played centre back. And now tonight, Curtis had to play as a fullback. And he did really well. It was very pleasing to see that the first goal was an assist of the left fullback to the right fullback. That probably tells you a lot about the intentions these players have when they step on the pitch. Yeah. That's the only thing that was not different compared to all the other games we played, that there was a referee decision that was not in our favor. So that has been multiple times the situation this season. But I also said many times when I sat here or at the AXA that we need to make sure that if decisions go against you, that you're still able to win. We have to become that good that we don't rely on the fact that against City there was not a red card on Gueye, or all the other decisions that are made this season that didn't went in our favor. And tonight again there was a decision that didn't went in our favor, which should have been different because he was onside, as you said, but we were still able to win 3-0. So now no one talks about it, although I don't follow everything, but I don't think there's been a lot spoken about how many times we've been disadvantaged by referee decision this season. But unfortunately for him, because it would have been a nice moment for him to score a goal and for Cody to have an assist, because I think Cody played a very good game tonight as well. Uh, in general, I enjoy watching football without VAR because if you then score, you're like, it's a goal. So that was the same with the 1-0. I looked at the linesman and he didn't raise his flag. So I was like, that's nice. But then a few seconds later, he did raise his flag, which was correct because he was offside. And they also explained to me that he wanted to know who scored. The moment he heard it was Cody, he said, but then he's offside. So fair and good decision. I like VAR only for the clear and obvious things. And I'm not meaning red card, yes or no, for Gueye Salah, because that is, I thought it was 100-0, but I heard people saying that they could live with that decision. So even that decision was not 100-0, 80-20. So let's stay away from that. Only go to offside, yes or no, ball over the line, yes or no. And that for the rest, the referee the game. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's not going to happen, but that's the way I would like the VAR to be. But yeah, I think we're now so used to VAR that I would prefer to have VAR during a game, to be honest.
Quick one on Dom, actually. Do you see all the attributes there for a future leader or captain over here?
Yes, but he's still young, and I think he has a lot of attributes already, especially if it comes to leading by example. But there's still a step to make in terms of leadership, being vocal, being a voice in the dressing room. If I compare him to Virgil, which is completely normal because Virgil is 34 and has seen probably James Milner, Henderson, and these players. So it's really good for Dominic that he sees Virgil as well, and that would be a next step for him to be as vocal and as loud as Virgil is. But that comes with time, I think. But for all the other things, he has a lot to become a very influential player for Liverpool, and you could call that a leader.
Is there any chance?
There is definitely a chance, but he will be out for a while. But we cannot say exactly how long yet. That is sometimes that's different with every injury. Sometimes you can make that diagnosis straight away. Sometimes you need a few more days to see how things develop, and that last thing is with Wata. But he will not be in the squad next week, and he will not be in the squad next month. But we're hoping that towards the end of the season he has a chance to be there with us again. But that also depends on the upcoming days where that will lead to.
Broken foot? He broke up?
We don't know yet. It's the first lie I've made over here.